Today we're going to be talking about my 10 exercises and how important they are and how this method can help you to reach your goals with your horse. The first exercise talking about how we can build our horse's confidence and how we can build the trust and how we can make them more concentrate and more knowing when we want something and when we mean nothing. I want my horse just to stay as he was before and not really to turn attention to this too much. You remember the first exercise is about just nothing, building her confidence, her trust, and you should teach your horse that means nothing to you, is nothing to do about you, is me doing something with myself. My second exercise talking about the backing up, how to back up your horse. Whenever I say to my horse, don't make me tap you, okay, and go farther back. Let's see this, if I do this to my horse and just ask her to come to me, let's check that now. You see? I didn't touch her, I didn't pull her, there is nothing on her. So now I'm doing little sign with my hand, I can use my stick this way, just keep going back until I tell you different. And when I want her to come towards me, I just do a little sign, come towards me. If you remember on the ground, we said whenever I come closer, she should start going back. If I come closer to her with my reins, that means she should start coming backwards. Okay, so don't make me pull my reins, keep going back. In some level, you should get to a point, in the second you thinking of taking your legs forward, your horse should start going back without even doing anything with your legs. So whenever I put my legs forward, that means stop and start going back. The third exercise, talking about controlling the front end and the back end of your horses. We're looking for some controlling the front end and like separate every part of the horse body. From the nose to the rudder, I should be able, whenever I push somewhere or I do a little sign just to my horse, when I do this to you, just take your body this way. So this is controlling the front end without a rope. It's really the same, just without a rope. Controlling the back end, whenever you do this, she should take her back end away. This is controlling the back end on this side. We can do it with our leg. We can take just our horse's face just towards us a little bit and ask them to take the back end away from my pressure. So wherever I put pressure with my leg, she should just move and not go against my pressure. She should do the opposite, just move out of my pressure. I'm putting pressure on your back end, can you move it? I see in leading, really, I see all the relationship in leading. When I see a person lead his horse, it's like more in everything. To me, when you lead a horse, it's like you see a human, going a person next to his wife or a wife with her husband. And sometimes you can see it in different way. You can see it like a father with his children, and it's really depend on the horse. So it's like you should protect them and lead them next to you and teach them where exactly they should be and how exactly you need to be. Wherever and whenever you say to her, we're gonna enter this place, so that means we're gonna enter this place. And if she's worried about something, you should make her feel really safe next to you and keep leading her. Your horse should feel you whenever you wanna start walking to somewhere, she should feel the difference between when you want something. Look at this. This should mean to her, I want to go this way. Are you coming with me? This should mean, I'm going to go this way. Are you coming with me? Exercise, I call it a snake, is coming to teach your horse straightness and teach your horse really to feel you when you want to turn left and right and to be more concentrate on his leader instead of the opposite. So the more you change really left and right, the better. Snake is when you can turn your horse to the left and to the right and keep lead him on the ground. So she's all the time really concentrate on me, where I want her to go. You're gonna keep going, just left, right, all the time, snake back. And everything we can do it in different ways, from farther away, from different distance. But I want to make life much more easier for you, because this exercise came to help human to communicate better way with their horses. How we can send our horses or ride our horses between us and something. So how we can get them through narrow places without worrying. Just go over this place between me and this fence. Stand, stop between me and the fence. Any place you think it's gonna help her and it's gonna happen to her in the future, you should think of it now. You should build a trust between you and your horse. She should trust you. That's nothing gonna hurt her. If you're gonna send her over the barrel, all over, or inside some water, or in a very narrow place, okay? So whenever you send, she should go. I'm gonna show you now a very basic way of doing sideways. So I'm gonna ask her, I'm gonna stand just in a place, in a diagonal way to her shoulder, and I'm gonna ask her with this little sign with my stick. Whenever I do this with my stick, she should start going sideways. I would like you to do sideways away from me now. And whenever I take my stick higher up, that means stop. And maybe I want you to do sideways back towards me again. Over some barrels, I can just stand from here and ask her to do this for me. You need to get to a point that your horse feel your body that's thinking about the sideways, and your horse should start just doing some sideways to the other side. I'm going to show you how to send your horse over, ask him to do some sideways, how to keep walking forward, and how to teach your horse to respect you and keep looking where exactly you want to go and how. If I'm on the ground now, right there, and I want to send this horse to this direction, and when he's facing me, I'm going to turn him and ask him to do sideways. So it's going to happen the same on top in here. I'm going to send this front end away, and I'm going to turn her nose. I'm going to do sideways, yeah, and I'm going to keep going each time farther towards this way. Now I'm going to send this front end away, yeah. I'm going to pull my horse face towards my trainer. Let's imagine we have a trainer in here and they're helping me. Yeah. Now I'm doing some sideways. Now I'm sending again this front end away, and I'm moving my horse feet farther away towards this side. Now I'm taking her nose to here. And again, this exercise really helps your horse understand you. You can feel at some point that your horse read your imagination. This is what exercise number 8 talking about. In circles, the first thing I look for, and a very basic thing, that's I can back up my horse far away from me before, and I can send my horse nose, neck and shoulder, and then send her feet away. I look for a few things. One thing that's my horse keep the same gait, the same direction, and in a far and in better and higher level, I look for to keep the same speed, not just the same gait. I want to be able to stop my horse when I look to his hind quarter. I'm going to show you now. If I do this to her hind quarter, she should take her hind quarter away, bring her both eyes towards me and wait. Let's say this horse has a trainer in the middle in there somewhere. So imagine I'm going around, so it's going to be the same, just on top. This is a change direction. This is another face into this way. And stopping and going back and forward and changing direction again and sending my horse around again and changing gaits. Doing the same when my horse in canter. When you say to this horse, I trust you and I'm you know, I just ask you to do some circles now in trot around me or in slow jog. Will you keep doing it for me? And now I'm gonna ask her just to stop, face me, and come towards me, just from me looking on her back end. Any change you make, called transition. And the more you do transition, the more your horse concentrate with you. Because when you keep changing things, you keep their brain really listening to you because they don't really know what is next. When you ride your horse or when you say, now I want to walk with my horse, no, it's everything you do with your horses is called horsemanship. So when you rub your horse, when you feed your horse in the morning, when anything you do, this 10 exercise can take you much more higher than you think. Try me and see. Thank you very much.